Hey, it's your boy, the Stutter God. I'm back with another video. Now, my last video, I I basically let y'all know what type of time niggas be on. I mean, we already dying out here. Like, we're number one in terms of who niggas fuck with. And that's fact. And yeah, people out here who wants you to think otherwise. Don't. Because if the FBI themselves says that it's true, and that we're out here dying more than any other, or being attacked more than any other minority out here, including Asians. They go, we're being. I mean, that's oppression right there. I'm like, they don't fuck with us. They don't fuck with us, and because they don't fuck with us. We gotta make sure our voices be heard. If they want to come around and attack us, we gotta make sure that they know when they do. Niggas ain't gonna sit there and take it. Like we gonna have to be about that life. And I mean about that life in terms of not being afraid to get shit done when you need to. Like, we're being targeted out here like we're a bunch of wild animals. And I don't know who exactly is to blame. You could argue I keep with white people, Mexicans, blah blah blah. I don't know who. So I'm not naming races. I'm not, because it could be anyone. Anyone can be racist. So it could be anyone. All I know is it's not ourselves, it's not other black people, because again it says anti-black. So it's not us. Another thing, people want to talk about a black on black crime. Niggas, that's all y'all can talk about. In 2045, nigga, we're gonna be the second most people that will populate America, right next to the Hispanics. That's gonna be us. So clearly, we're not killing each other enough. Because at the end of the day, we're gonna run this shit. Not exactly us, because Hispanics will be front and center, but still, and the white supremacists know that, and they scared. I'm telling you, bro. Another thing too, the only reason black on black crime happens is because a nigga ain't driving across the state just to kill a person of a different color. Now you're gonna kill a person who looks like you, who thinks like you, who acts like you. You're gonna kill that nigga and not some random white person walking across the street. Another thing, poverty in some places and or cities is so bad that the type of mindset they're on is very destructive. That's why you have like a lot of gang members and a lot of gangs who are black, who are primarily black. And I'm not defending them. Like, what they're doing is fucked up, and you won't hear me say free killer, even though he has a rape charge and 12 murder cases. That's not gonna be me. But I'm just telling y'all the facts. And the fact is, your environment is crucial to your upbringing. And if you're born in a violent environment, you're gonna become violent. That's simple facts. That won't always work out, of course, but it can happen. You can use me as an example. I was born in a house where people would yell constantly and or get into fights. So what happened to me? I became very paranoid and afraid. Why? Because I was in that type of environment. And people gonna sit here and say, well, of course you're afraid, but at least you're not violent. Like that goes to show that you're wrong, bro. I'm autistic. Like that even lowers my expectation to be outright violent. And that's also true. You can also look it up if you want to. People with mental health are not violent. They're the opposite. A large majority of them. And the only reason you think the opposite is because a lot of these damn movies out here that got you thinking otherwise, when that's not true. It's not. We are the ones who should not be afraid of. It's the people who think just like you should be afraid of. It's the people who are quote unquote normal, just like everyone else. Don't be afraid of me. I won't hurt you. Your neighbor might. Your cousin might. Your sister's ex might. But not me. Not me. And real quick, the other thing I want to talk about is that as you saw, always heard, white next in terms of violence towards a specific group, after us black people, there's whites. And that goes to show you something. That they're just as almost as vulnerable as we are. And that should also be known. Just because they're white doesn't mean that they're automatically racist. Of course, seeing the numbers, we should be careful we should be careful towards every other race, including white. So don't sit here thinking like the white people are your only enemies. Because while that might be true, even though I believe that there's a large percentage of white people who are racist, that's not going to be true in every single case out there. So it can be Mexicans, Hispanics, like any other race out there. Mexicans, Hispanics, Asians, Chinese, Latinos, blue, purple, like while we do need to stay aware, and we do need to be able to protect ourselves, we also should be very mindful, because at the end of the day, white supremacists aren't our only enemies. At least logically speaking. Even with that being the case, as y'all already know, we are actively trying to twist the narrative and hide the facts. Asian lives matter, all lives matter. Like, come on now. Black lives matter. And I'm saying this even though I fully well know that the leader of Black Lives Matter quit because it was found out that Black Lives Matter was Black Lives Matter purpose was to get people to vote for Democrats or something like that. That was their true purpose. So at the end of the day, they're a bunch of sellouts. But I will always agree with the purpose. Black color matters. And also another thing, if you want true equality, and if you're out here chanting black empowerment, you shouldn't get mad for a white person to chant white empowerment, because that's equality. He's just doing the same thing you're doing. So don't be out here uh, chanting uh, Black Lives Matter and stuff like that. And then when someone else chants White Lives Matter, you get all offended. Of course, it can be because they're trying to push us down again and that makes sure to silence us. But another thing too, it also could be because they truly do feel that way. Because remember, the second race that is targeted is whites. So they're almost in the same boat as us. So you should keep that in mind. You gotta make sure you know your friends, know who you talk to, and everything. Because at the end of the day, if something do pop off, you know who you're riding with by default. You know who you're fighting for. You know who you're dying for. You know your niggas. That's true equality. Well, that alone is not true equality, but being able to speak your mind and not be silenced is equality. Everyone has the right to do the exact thing you do, and you shouldn't oppress them because of that. Because if you're oppressing them, then you're the oppressor. So you just became what we hated. Good job. Good job. You just became our enemy. And knowing this, knowing how much we are suffering, makes me makes my makes my standpoint of fuck the police even stronger, because the majority of those deaths, wow, it could be from outside sources. Some are probably from police officers. I'm trying to find it out now. I mean, logically speaking, if we're being targeted, then we're obviously being targeted by the law also. So originally, well, not originally, but my main idea, my main focus is to push police reform. And if that doesn't work, we got to defund those motherfuckers. Defund them, because hear me out. Even though it might get violent for a while and crime might rise, at the end of the day, people will be able to figure out what to do, and they'll know how to police themselves later on. It's gonna get rocky at first, but we'll figure it out. That's why you don't need them. We don't need cops. The only people we actually need are medical professionals, not law enforcement. We need medical professionals. And if we can't get medical professionals and do it with the police, we gotta start learning ourselves. We gotta start learning ourselves. Because if you're like me and you're out here chanting fuck 12, but something bad happens and you end up calling 911 and the cops refuse to come, you don't wonder why, because they saw you chant fuck 12. They saw you. So don't expect them to come to the rescue. If you're that type of person, if you're on the same mindset as me, you need to be ready. You need to be, you need to keep your money where your mouth is. You gotta be about it. You gotta be prepared for the consequences. Every action you take will have consequences, and you need to be prepared. You need to be prepared to reap what you sow. And so, if you're out here throwing your middle fingers at cops, don't call them when uh don't call them when somebody robs your house. Don't call them, because that just goes to show you're weak. That just goes to show when the the going gets hard, you immediately switch up and do the opposite of what you're about, what you preach. You gotta practice what you preach, always. And I'm gonna practice what I preach. And even though I don't have my house right now, and so I don't own this house, and so there might be a time where police will be called, but it's not because of me. This is how it is. But when I do get my house, I promise you that cops will never be called. They will never be called. Because I'm gonna have the same mindset as now. You need to prepare yourself to. Matter of fact, hold on. Let me explain it in this way too, because I forgot to mention this. My friend, as I told you guys in the other video, he told me, because we were talking about this type of stuff, but he told me that rioting will get people killed, because when they call 911 and the cops don't and they don't show up because of the rioters, that person might suffer and die. And I'm pretty sure that is the case. That's fact. And so you need to be prepared for what might happen. If you're out here and you're thinking about rioting, stuff like that, and you think about fighting the police, keep in mind that what you're doing can have negative consequences. There will always be a negative to anything you do. There will be positive, and then there will be a negative. So be prepared to be prepared to potentially be the cause of someone's death. If you really want to be about this, be prepared. Don't think long. Don't think short term. Think long term. Because at the end of the day, every action you take will have an immediate reaction. And my friend, he's a family man. I respect that. And his views also, while incorrect, I also respect that. Because at the end of the day, he's doing what he's supposed to do. And that's something you should respect. Because not everyone is like that. He's a hardworking man. He's making sure his family is taken care of for himself. And so we need to have the exact mindset he has. You know, I mean that as in he is willing to do whatever it takes to protect his family, no matter the cost. And if you're really about this, and you're really about pro black, and you're really about to see your people rise up, then you need to be prepared to do what you need to do. That's what he taught me. Unknowingly taught me, but taught me nonetheless. Even though he's right in the writing part, I will still support it. I will still support it because our message was received after, in terms of Derek Salvin being charged. So it worked. It was effective. It was effective. And we need to have that same energy. But we also need to have that same energy for other races. So when someone else dies and that person's not black, well, y'all better be y'all better be out there chanting the same slogans for that person. That's equality also. Don't be sitting here and turning your back when someone needs help. Do the same shit you did for George Floyd, for Winston Smith, for Eric Garner. Do the same shit. And even with all this said, I will always put my people before anyone else. Because even though white people are the second most targeted, we have a bigger target on our backs. And we need to help each other. Not everyone will be on that type of mindset. But that's okay. We just need enough. We just need enough. Of course, what is that to say? I'm going to help others as well. But when times get tough, y'all, I'm going to be out here making sure that my people are taken care of, making sure that there's justice for for black people who just go on about their lives day by day. Cause I see y'all when when people are signed killed and it's found out that they did, they were because of a good reason. Y'all still protesting? Please stop. Please stop. Because you're just making the rest of us look bad. Please stop. Please. Please. Because sorry guys, that's my family. If you hear them. Anyways, as I was saying, please stop that because you're making us look bad. We gotta seek justice for those who actually need it. And that person who was shot in the back and paralyzed, he deserved to get shot in the back because he had a knife on him. He had a weapon. And I forgot his name. But regardless, he had a weapon. And you can make an argument that they didn't need to shoot him because he was walking away. But still. He didn't deserve justice. He got signed. He was holding a weapon. He had a knife in his hand. You don't want to protest against that? Really? You're making us look bad. You are making us look bad. Protest for those who need justice. For those who were wrongly killed in a fashion that was unacceptable and did not need to happen at all. Because in some of these cases, it actually does need to happen. And that's the hard truth. with that being said, I'm gonna wrap it up here. And I hope everyone has a good day. Black first. I'm gonna catch you guys in my next video. Peace.